can be a great people, Kal-El. They wish to be. They only lack the light to show the way.
Hey everybody, welcome to the channel, welcome to the video. Been a busy day for me at least. I want to shot a video. I did a $30 challenge because I sold a duffel bag locally for 30 bucks, and I took that $30 over to Goodwill, took the camera, and I was like, all right, what can we turn this $30 into? So I got some great items. That video will be out in a few weeks on the Gem Flipper channel, if you guys do want to tune into that one. And I've been cleaning around here, getting stuff sorted, getting items listed that have been sitting around for a little bit because I've been lazy, basically. I got my shipping station, which I still gotta clean. I usually clean that every Sunday. It just gets wild. You know, during the week, just shipping, sourcing, videos, all that. So I kind of just let it go during the week, and then come Sunday, there's all kinds of paper, you know, kinds of label papers, you know, ripping the tag, or ripping the to stick the poly mailers together. You rip that little strip across, and those are there. And I got to restock my shipping station. It is completely depleted, and it's been depleted all week because this last Sunday, we were more concentrating inside the house, getting ready for Halloween, because Halloween is here. We got to decorate for Halloween. Then what's after that is Christmas. We got to get, you know, so decorating season is here for us, at least for the holidays. So this week I got to get that shipping area sorted out. But I want to talk about people quitting or putting reselling into like part-time mode, and because I've been seeing a lot of people do that, and most of these people are clothing resellers. And you hear me talk about the summer slowdown really affecting clothing resellers, and why are clothing resellers affected so much, especially, you know, those that are considering going part-time, is because it's one of those areas that's easy to enter, it's easy to start. You know, you have everybody has clothing, it's easy to resell clothing. Clothing is easy to start reselling. And finding, you know, a lot of people, you know generally for the most part what the best brands are. Levi's, Nike stuff, Adidas stuff, Lululemon. I have some Lululemon pants I brought out really quick. Lululemon pants, you know, people are finding Lululemon. They're like, oh, where do we see that? Well, I'll resell that. I have that in my closet. I'll resell it. Or I can go, you know, find it at the Goodwill, or, you know, wherever you source your products. And it's easy to get started. And what I'm gonna kind of compare it to snowboarding, because over 20 years ago, believe it or not, I was an active snowboarder. I was snowboarding all the time. Snowboarding was life to me over 20 years ago. What kind of ended it was I developed this, you know, plantar fasciitis that lasted for almost over a year, I believe. I don't remember when it went away, because all of a sudden it was just gone all of a sudden. It periodically comes and goes from time to time. But the first time it was just really, really bad, and it was, oh man. If you guys ever experience it, it's, you know, it's not fun. It's not fun, I'll tell you that right now. It really affects your mobility. But snowboarding is something that is really easy to get started, and I helped a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of friends from church and everything. Everybody's like, oh, take me up to, you know, to learn how to snowboard, you know, teach me how to snowboard. And I'm like, yeah, sure, if you want to go up and snowboard. And one thing everyone's always tell me, you know, I take my friends up there and stuff like that, they'd be like, dude, how do you not fall? How do you not, you know, because they're falling all the time. That's one thing that, you know, when you're learning, one thing you learn is how to fall, because you're going to fall all the time. You're going to get wet. It's going to be cold. A lot of people are like, how do you, you know, you don't ever fall. How do you, you know, keep your balance? Or I'm like, you don't see me when I'm out here practicing, when I'm out here, you know, by myself, or, you know, with other people, you know, we're practicing and, you know, trying to perfect it. I'm falling all the time. So it's when I'm here with, you know, friends, you know, from that are not, you know, in the snowboarding world, you know, I'm taking them up there, just to have fun. You know, it's they're not seeing the other side of things, and that's the other thing too, that people see a lot of these, full-time resellers, and they're like, oh, it's easy, piece of cake, we can do that. Yeah, but you don't see everything else. You don't see everything else that goes into it. It's incredibly time-consuming and challenging and everything. But you going back to snowboarding, one of the most common things is I'll take someone up, and they're like, oh yeah, I want to go, and I'll take them up once, I'll quit. I'll take them a few times, and eventually they'll quit. And it's like, it's something that's just normal. Most people will quit. In reselling, most people are eventually going to give up on it. Most people are going to just keep it as a hobby. Because once you start to get more advanced, it's going to get harder. In snowboarding, you don't always stay on the bunny slope. That's pretty easy part to master, and then you start doing the bunny slope. But then you want to get, hey, I want to have some, more fun. I want to go up higher. And some of these hills. There's one over Heavenly Ski Resort. It's in California and Nevada. It's kind of cool. On the backside of the mountain, way at the top, you can actually, from the top, there's this one crossing. It's usually pretty windy up there. There's one crossing pattern, or crossing road, I guess, of snow. And you can look out into Nevada, and it looks like you're looking from an airplane. It's really cool. You see the different parcels of land and everything. Really cool. But either way, when you're on the top and you're looking down, you're looking at some of the more advanced runs. There's one run which has these little hills. They're called moguls. And it's more for skiing, but you can snowboard it. It's incredibly difficult. From the bottom looking up, it's like, oh, yeah, doesn't look bad. Once you're on top, though, it's like, holy cow. And so then you just kind of, I see so many people get up to the tops of some of these mountains and then just scoot all the way down. And then once they get down, they're exhausted. And they're like, I'm done. Spend the rest of the day in the lodge. So, and that's what a lot of, unfortunately, that's the way it's going to be for a lot of people. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. Once you get to more... getting started, getting going is easy, but once you start to get more advanced, and then we're not even talking about the competition that's out there. Clothing is incredibly competitive. There's a bunch of clothing resale. Plus, you're also competing with everybody else that's selling clothes in the world. Your Macy's, your Targets, your Walmarts. So what's going to make someone want to buy from you? And that's the hard part. That's the part that's hard. How are you going to attract these buyers to your items? For the most part, it's going to be lower prices, basically. For most people, it is going to be lowering your price, because there's a bunch of Lululemon out there. There's a bunch of Levi's out there. Why should someone spend more with you? Well, you got to have something more unique, something more, unique style, a vintage style. When it comes to clothing, I'm not much of a clothing reseller, but I am aware of clothing reselling. I do resell clothes from time to time. But it's a very competitive, and if you're not keeping up with the competition, if all your competition is advertising, you're not advertising, you're going to get left in the dust. Unless you have something super unique or super rare vintage t-shirts or something, you're going to get left in the dust. And, those other people are going to get the sales, and you're not going to have those sales. And that's what a lot of people, I think, are running into. Not only that, there is also the post-pandemic economy, I like to call it. It is the economy that should have been... This is where we probably should have been had there not been a pandemic. It's not... The pandemic created this bubble, this hyper online shopping environment that... companies experience it too. A lot of tech companies experience this too, because everybody needed tech. Everybody was going home. Everybody was going, working from home. Everybody needed computers. Everyone needs super fast internet. Everybody was watching TV. Everybody needed Netflix. Everybody needed Hulu. So you saw all these companies just blow up. But it wasn't supposed to be that way. It was not supposed... This, sudden rush of, people having money and... sitting at home with nothing to do but spend it somehow online wasn't supposed to happen. That was not supposed to be that way. So, and that was easy. That was one of the easy times. That's when a lot of these people I'm seeing online got involved. And now it's the hard work. Now it's, we got to fight to get sales. What do we got to do? We got to advertise. We got to lower prices. We got to buy at lower prices. And, you know, that's the hard part. That is all the hard part. So, you know, those people that are here prior to probably realize or understand or at least know what, you know, selling online used to be and can adapt. People that just started, you know, within that bubble, that, you know, the pandemic bubble that it created, you know, might not have the tools to be able to do that. And but nowadays you can find all those tools online. There's so many people, so much help out there. There are people that offer courses you can pay for. You can just watch videos and learn from that. You can go on, you know, there are some toxic environments out there on Reddit and Facebook to learn, but there's so many ways to learn how to do this. Just selling things online, basically. It's not really, you know, it's reselling, yes, but just selling online, e-commerce. You know, there's so much out there, and I hope I can help you guys in that as well too. I hope I help you guys with my what solds on what here. I'm going to show you some cool items, although my camera is overheating, so I'm going to give it a break for a little bit, and then I'll come back and show you guys some cool what sold. Not what solds, but I'm going to show you some items I just picked up recently as well too. Okay, and we're back here. So what I wanted to show you guys, first of all, in the previous video, I showed you guys, what were they, DVDs, 30-pack, which sold. No. Take that back. That was in my other channel. My other channel, Gem Flipper, I picked up some DVD packs, 30 packs, and those sell for about $17 is what they sell for. However, today I picked up a 100 pack of DVDs, blank DVDs, mind you. Definitely be on the lookout. This should go closer to $30. So that's what we paid for right there. So really cool. Definitely be on the lookout for these spindles. The larger, the better. 50, 100 packs, 30 packs. Spindles, depending on how much you get them for. If you get them pretty cheap, that'd be kind of cool. Here's a cool item, not a resellable item. I don't know if it's resellable. I didn't even look it up. I'm keeping it for myself, but just a really cool little crystal globe. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of that. Pretty cool. It's for a company called On Semiconductor, formerly a division of Motorola. That was pretty cool. Keeping that for myself. Actually, one cool thing, if you look at the top, it's got like a cool color thing going on there. Like the bottom of this little square is painted, or the part that sits on is painted. Pretty sure the part it sits on, it might be on the bottom. Either way, it's really cool. I'm keeping it for myself. Although I might see if it's worth anything. If it's like $100, I'm gonna sell it. But the coolest thing of all, and I spotted this sitting on a shelf like that. And I was like, you know where that's from? Oh, first of all, if you guys can tell me down in the comments down below what movie this is from. It's a very brief scene. It's an older movie. Older, I think came out in the late 80s, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure. There's a brief moment of this in the scene where the person's actually using it to make sushi. But it's Sushi Maker, as you can see there. So I spotted it immediately. Here's the price tag or what I paid for it at Goodwill. So, if you round up $11. Pretty cool. And it's brand new in there. If it wasn't brand new, I probably wouldn't pick it up because that'd be kind of gross, if there was some random, fish in there from the 80s, when this came out. Made in Japan. It doesn't have a date on it or anything like that, but it's definitely, you look at that. That's early 80s or so. But if you guys could tell me what movie that's in, because I'm definitely gonna put that in the list. In the listing, I'm gonna use that movie as to help me sell it, as keywords to help me sell it. So just some cool items. Things you just gotta be on the lookout for. It's not some of it, where I'm at in San Jose, California, it does make reselling a little bit easier. There's a lot of stuff here. If you look on my other channel, on the Gem Flipper channel, you'll see the packed shelves, full of products all the time at Goodwill. A lot of people are saying Goodwill's dead. I know a lot of big time YouTubers are saying you can't find anything at Goodwill anymore. Goodwill's overpriced or whatever. Not here. Here it is chock full of items, spilling out of shelves. Some Goodwills do price a little bit higher than others. You just get used to it and you kind of figure out which sections or which items they price higher, and then you go to that Goodwill for those, go to that Goodwill for that one. One Goodwill just prices well overall, so you just kind of learn all that stuff. Definitely, there is a little bit of luck. Going back to, why some people may or may not be quitting, or, sometimes it just, or one of the biggest things is finding the good items. Sometimes it could struggle finding good items all the time. And, for some people, it is luck. Sometimes being in the right place, the right time. I was talking to Mike, Golden State Picker, the other day about an item he found, about being in the right place, the right time. It's just kind of like, wow, if something had changed, something had been different, if I didn't get there just a minute if there was a red light at this point, I wouldn't have got there to get to score this item or so. Just there is some luck involved, yes, but there's a lot of skill involved in this as well too. Knowledge, having the knowledge, knowing that, who would think, blank DVDs would still be worth it, but they are worth it. And then, who would think to pick up, a sushi maker? First of all, this was sitting on the shelves. I got there 30 minutes after opening, and it was still there. Other resellers are going through Goodwill as well, too. And they are looking for items. And this was just sitting there, right here. A sushi maker. This should go for like maybe close to $150. This sushi, it's sold for $100. Other people have it listed for around $200-ish. One guy has it listed. It looks like open box, like it's not brand new sealed like this one is. So I'm thinking about $150 on this, just sitting there on the shelf, just sitting there. Everybody's passing it up. I spotted it, knew exactly what it was. Knows that it actually was featured in a movie, which will help as well too. And I grabbed it. I was like, boom, I grabbed it. I knew exactly what it was. So, it just takes a little bit of, knowledge. Knowledge is knowledge a skill, I guess. Having the knowledge, having all this, useless information. Who would have thought that, a random movie. And I don't want to spoil it. I'm not going to say the movie. I'll probably drop it down in the comments of this video after I give people time to respond. But just knowing that, that movie, seeing this, I know there was, there's movie prop stuff that pops up from time to time. In video game stuff. I was also a big video gamer as well too back in the day. PC gaming, that is. And I find a lot of PC gaming stuff as well too. I've sold this puppet. It was called a bread monster. I think I sold it for $300. Found it at the Goodwill for $2.59, and it sold for $300 because it was a gaming, from a rare piece of gaming merchandise. I found a World of Warcraft, dragon one time that sold for $90. I got it for $3.59 at the Goodwill. So this stuff is all out there, and nowadays, like I was saying before, you can learn all this stuff here on YouTube or on Facebook groups and all that. And a lot of it just takes getting out there, going out there. When it comes to glassware and stuff like glass and pottery, purses. I always talk about in my other channel. I always talk about the feel of the items. They just feel good quality. And that just takes practice. You got to get out there and practice with these things. Test it out. Look for names that other people are telling you to pick up. There's a problem. That eventually, everybody starts finding the same stuff and then drives the prices down. But hopefully, you can get in early to purchase those items. And then those people that are always talking about, oh man, everybody's everybody like Lululemon. Everybody ruined the market on Lululemon, but the ones that have the skills, the ones that have been doing this for a while, the ones that have the knowledge can adjust and move on to the next thing that's going to make them money. And, Lululemon's dead. All right, we move on to the next thing. We keep going, and eventually you'll learn, everybody will learn the skills as well too. And we're all learning. We're all learning the skill or get the knowledge, learn, have skill and get the knowledge. I'm not sure if I'm even using that in the right, translation. The right order. I don't know. Either way, I hope you guys get the point of the video. Okay, let's move on to what's sold. Let's move on. Okay, let's look at the what solds. Everything will appear over here to my right, and let's just jump right into it. First, vintage mice, vintage computer stuff does really well, more so in the peripheral department, keyboards, mice, input devices. And this mouse sold. It's an old school Apple mouse. I was gonna say keyboard mouse. I'm not really a big Apple guy. Apple, never really been. If I owned an Apple computer, outside of an iPad or iPod. Well, I take it back. My son, I did get a iMac for my son. Is that iMac? I don't know what they're calling them nowadays. I really don't keep up with Apple stuff. I'm not an Apple guy. Never liked Apple, but he has an Apple computer. Basically, there's an Apple computer. Let's say that he has an Apple computer, and that's pretty much the only one that I own. I guess I own it because I bought it, but it's his. PC guy, always PC. But I do know that these vintage Apple keyboards and mice do really well. Even the modern ones do incredibly well. I saw the more modern ones. There's still, there's wired and wireless ones, flat ones. You may see them here on this What Sold channel or some of my past What Solds. But I sell these things all the time. They still sell. They still do incredibly well. Even in the old, like, this one has like the little ball in the bottom. It's not a laser or an optical one. Still sold. And we still sold it for, what we said, $17.99. And you can usually pick these up for $1 or $2. Flea market. Goodwill will usually have them priced around between $2 to $5. Usually, if it's something fancy, they'll usually price it up. I've seen them priced up, fancy-looking, cheap ones before, which aren't worth it. But definitely make sure they're priced around $3. I mean, I'm sorry, $5 might be a little high, but anything under that will be good. Okay. Now, one thing I kind of stopped buying. Okay, next item. That's what I meant to say. Okay, next item. That's my cue to when I put up pictures when I'm doing the editing part. Okay, next item. Anthropology mugs. I kind of stopped buying Anthropology mugs because they weren't moving anymore. This took about 6 months to sell. Just about 6 months to sell. And I was like, I just kind of stopped buying them. Yeah, sometimes it's just too good. Like, if it's like $2 or so, I'm like, I'll pick it up. I don't mind it. But with the rise in the shipping costs recently, so when they moved over to Ground Advantage, it was a little bit cheaper to ship out mugs. Now, cheaper for the buyer because the buyer pays the shipping. But what I was able to do was make a little bit more on the shipping side of things by adjusting the box size. I generally put 12 by 10 by 10 on all my listings just to keep it easy, and it's pretty much baseline. Unless it's something that's outside of that range, I can't, like keyboards. Keyboards definitely fall outside of that range, and I'll make sure to put the appropriate box size for that, which is 20, 12, 6. It's the standard box size I use for keyboards. But most part, everything's 12, 10, 10. Even little things that I put in polymers, 12, 10, 10. It's not really going to change the shipping cost that much. Maybe like $1 or $2, and that's kind of how I make a little bit of money on the shipping, because that helps to pay or offset the cost of shipping supplies as well too. Nothing crazy. It's like at the most I think it's like $1.50-ish or so, and most of the time it's right around $1 or so extra that I'm making on each shipment. However, I was able to adjust the shipping because these go in 6 by 6 by 6 boxes, so I was able to make closer to $2 on each mug shipment. Now it's come down quite a bit to about, I think it's only like 70 something cents. So the incentive really isn't there for me to move mugs. And if a mug's going to sit for about 6 months, I'm definitely not going to do it anymore. Either way, but all that to say is I've had 2 of these mugs. I had 2 more of these mugs floating around here, and they both sold within a couple of days. I'm like, what the heck? All of a sudden, these monogram Anthropology mugs are selling? Should I have been picking them up the whole time? We'll see. Either way, I don't have any more right now, but I might pick one up if it's a good price and if I see it at Goodwill, which is primarily where I see them at. Next item. I got a lot of offers on this item. A lot of offers around $20. But it's a train set, basically a train model set that you have to put together. It actually, I brought this box. It actually came with this big old box, but I didn't want to ship this big old box. I didn't want to do it, even though it's pretty thin. I might have a box for that actually, but it's pretty thin and it might have shipped okay. However, to make it easier on myself and shipping wise, I took everything out. And I got all these offers almost immediately after listing it. I got all these offers started coming in, and I was like, I'll wait a while. It seems to be pretty popular. Fell asleep, woke up the next day, boom, sold full price, full asking price, $54. With the box, I might have been able to get a little bit more. It's definitely incomplete, and I definitely noted that in the listing. Okay, next item. Sony portable TV. Now, these portable TVs still do work with a digital adapter. Make sure to keep that in mind. The radio worked. Still did really well. It's a fairly large item, but still fit in a 12 by 10 by 10 box. I do keep those boxes. Even though I use that size, I still keep those boxes. They're very handy to have in stock. And a great sale right here. You know, it was already all in its original packaging. Definitely helps when an item is in its original packaging. Had all the foam on the inside already too. I wrapped it a couple times in bubble wrap and put it in the box and sent it on its way. And this is going international, by the way, so no takebacks on this one. That's pretty good. Okay, next item that you should be purchasing, lava lamps. Now, you have to make sure to get them for, just like the mice, $5 or less. Even the brand new ones, they're not going to sell for a crazy amount. If you can find the really old vintage ones, those ones do really well. These more modern, original lava lamps, I usually find them used. Make sure they have a little top on them as well, too. The used ones will generally be around $25 to $30. This one was brand new in the box, and it sold for $34. This one stuck around a little while. I'm not really sure as to why. Because I had a bunch of used ones selling already. A bunch of used ones have sold. I just got another one over there. It's sitting there. I'm testing it. That one is working, so that one is going to get listed soon. But that's my last one. They sell really quickly. This one took a few months to sell, and I don't really know why. Maybe I was asking too much. Maybe the new ones sell for as much as the used ones. Maybe the title was wrong. Not really 100% sure, but I'm glad it finally sold, and it's out of here. Just be aware, these go for a little bit higher. These, when it comes to shipping, you'll need at least a 16-inch long box for these ones. Then the last item that we have here today, okay, next item, last item, is candle, Bath & Body Works. I always hear a lot of people talk, I'm not buying candles during the summer, not shipping candles during the summer, they're all going to melt. I still buy and ship candles during the summer. Never had a problem, knock on wood. Always knock on wood. Bath & Body Works, eucalyptus snowfall candle. Of course, we're getting close to the end of the year. Bath & Body Works are pretty much the only candles I pick up. The only ones that resell really well, the 3-wick ones. And sometimes they're priced up. I did find them one time at Goodwill around $8, so I left them behind. If they're under $5, I will generally buy them because they do sell relatively quickly. Definitely look out for candles. Bath & Body Works. Cool, unique scent. Look up the scent, too. Some of the scents are rare. Otherwise, that's everything that's sold. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, bell notification, and we'll catch you in the next video.